All right, man. Woo. What's up, guys? Thanks for coming in, man. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for keeping me company. Look, the reason I did this live is because I don't have anything to do today. And I'm going nuts, man. I'm going crazy. Usually my routine is I take my son to school. I come back home. I usually research and bang out like a YouTube video. And then I go to the gym and then I got to pick him up. And then I come, and then I'm doing a bunch of shit before the game starts. Today, his mom picks him up from school. So I don't have to do that. We're on a rest day from the gym. So I don't have to do that. Make any type of prediction or talk about any type of reasons for this or for that, or the Sixers need to do this and need to do that, because I already talked about it. But also I feel like anything I say is jinxing the thing. I was so confident after game 1, and I was still confident after game 2. And I got a couple clips on Instagram that are at like hundreds of thousands of views, and there's just Knicks fans. I don't even read it anymore. It's just Knicks fans all day long, every day. And I just want to shut them up more than anything in the world. But I don't want to make any more of those types of videos before tonight's game, because I feel like every time I come out here and I'm like, this is going to happen, 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 this is going to happen. I don't know. I don't want to do it. I don't want to say anything. I almost made a video just staring at a camera for 10 minutes saying absolutely nothing. And then I was like, nah, I'll just go live and let the people talk, man. Let you guys talk. Let you guys drop things in the chat. Let you guys call in the Discord if you want to. I'm just really nervous. I'm really nervous because tonight it could be, and I don't want to be glass half empty type of guy. But it just makes me really nervous that, and I don't think the Sixers are going to lose this game. But it just the feeling just sucks. Knowing the fact that if they do lose this one, it's over. No team in the history of the NBA has come back from being down 3-0. So this is, without a doubt, the most important game of the season. Teams come back from 0-2. At least one team basically every season for the past 30 years comes back from 0-2. 33 teams in the history of the game, actually. So that would be way more than the last 30 years. Whatever. But you can't go down 0-3. You can't. But I mean, let's be serious. It would be the most Sixer thing ever for them to go down 0-3, for them to look like garbage for 3 games and be the first team in NBA history to win a series after being down 0-3. That would be very 76ers, because they don't do anything normal. They don't do anything like it's ever been done before in history, right? But no, you can't go down 0-3. You got to win 2 at home. You got to make it an even series going back to New York. And the one thing Knicks fans keep getting mad at me for is saying that they get lucky, or saying that they've had good fortune, or saying that they've had the officials on their side. Bro, are you kidding me? You had a Bogdanovich fadeaway bank-in 3 in game 1. You had a Josh Hart prayer at the end of a shot clock buzzer. It didn't even set his feet. The guy's a 30% three-point shooter. turned into Klay Thompson in his prime. Game 2, the game is over if the Jalen Brunson 3 doesn't hit the front of the rim and bounce in. Like, we're a couple of fluky ass shit plays away from being up 2-0. That's what sucks about the NBA playoffs. Some guy told me, if you don't understand that Jalen Brunson's skill is what made that ball go in, then you don't know ball. It's the soft touch and the back spin on the ball. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up, bro! Shut up! He shot the ball up the side of the rim. Shut up! Nobody's like, I'm so good, I'm going to shoot the ball up the side of the fucking rim. Come on, man. You guys got to be smarter than that, bro. Yo, Cammy. Come on, man. Cammy, that is Sixers talk with CJ Sixers talk on Instagram. I'm sorry. I use some of his graphics on the page sometimes. Great guy. Malice in the Wells Fargo Center. Listen, if we get screwed by the officials again, bro, we're jumping the scorer's table. You know, you guys see that that LSU South Carolina fight in the women's regular season. I think it was towards the end of the season. I don't think it was in the tournament. Maybe it was. There was a fight, and a dude one of the girls' like dads or something jumped over the scorer's table, and there was like a police officer that fucking tackled him. That's gonna be us. If the refs screw us again, we're jumping tables. This is part of the reason I don't go to games. My reaction to things is not okay. It's not. And usually when I'm in there, you know, I'm drinking I'm drinking probably a 9% IPA, which I shouldn't be doing. All right. So now my reaction to things is not only not okay in the first place, now you got a little bit of, you know, alcohol in you. And I'll get kicked out of there. I'll get banned from the arena. Anyway, what do you guys think about tonight, man? Because I'm just so. All right, let's read the chat, man. Crowley, if refs screw us again, I want fans to charge the court. But do you guys agree with what I was saying on that video? That yeah, it was a foul on Maxey. Yeah, it was whatever. But you like the Sixers collapsed. You know, you got to find a way to win that game. You can't be up by 8 points with 27 seconds left, or 5 points with 27 seconds left. No, it was 8. I forget. But you got to find a way to win that game. A pull on the jersey shouldn't turn that whole thing around, you know? So that's just very Sixers-like to just find a way to collapse like that. And if they just don't pull a Sixers right there, bro. If they just don't pull a Sixers right there, it's 1-1. The weirdest part, I was listening to Gilbert Arenas podcast today because the one clip made me laugh my ass off when he said Tobias Harris doesn't know what a layup looks like. And it's like he said Tobias Harris treats the paint like there's child support in there. Anyway, he went on to say, what the hell was Kyle Lowry doing at the end of that play? Because you're after DiVincenzo hits after Brunson banks in the 3, you're still up by 2, and Lowry sprinted to the ball and took it out of bounds and rushed the inbound pass like you were down by 2. Like you were in a hurry to get the ball inbounded. It didn't really make any sense now that I think about it. How does a veteran like Kyle Lowry make that mistake? You know? Should have let the ball roll. Should have made the referee pick it up and hand it to you. And then you're a little bit more set and ready to go. They just panicked. They totally panicked. And I get that out of Tyrese Maxey, never never really being expected to be the guy in the playoffs until right now, and he's 23 years old, and he just doesn't I don't understand Lowry not having the wherewithal in that situation as a veteran player. And yeah, he missed a free throw that would have put it away too. But I guess that's the way we can look at it in the light too, right? If we were that close to being, if we were this many plays away from being up 2-0, right? And those types of things didn't go our way and we're down 0-2, we can very easily tie this series. That's the thing. Not easily, not like playing the Knicks is easy, but you know what I'm saying? The way Knicks fans are talking about it, Knicks fans are talking about this, bro, like they blew us out 2 games in a row. That's honestly how they're talking. They're talking like they blew us out 2 games in a row. They were both close. They're both like, it could be 2-0, it could be 1-1, it could be 2-0 the other way. You didn't blow us out and smack us. You didn't blow us away. You didn't win like set in stone, convincing Sixers don't have a shot at all victory. So the way that they're talking is crazy to me because you barely won both games. You could very well lose the next 2. They're talking like it's impossible for them to lose the next 2 games. Shit's wild to me. I just want them to be humbled, man. I just want them to be humbled a little bit. I mean, I know you guys haven't been here before. I know the last time you were in a competitive playoff series was in the 70s. So you won a playoff game. You don't know how to act. I get that. But I want them to be humbled, man. Knicks are a 50-win 2 seed. They ain't that good, DJ. Yeah, I forgot that they even made it to the 2nd seed. Honestly, the whole East was crazy this year. Like none of it made any sense. The fact that we would have rather played the Bucks is funny. I just saw that my dude Romp tweeted and said, everyone called me crazy for wanting the Celtics over the Knicks. And I remember when he said that on the live stream, and I was saying for a while that I fear the Knicks because of the way that they play and they take you out of their game, and Tobias Harris completely doesn't show up. And anybody that watched the Knicks regular season games should have known the way that this team plays, and it's not a good matchup. A deep physical team like that is a spoiler team. A deep physical team like that is a trap team. At the top of the roster, the Sixers have way more talent. Yes. But the Knicks are deep and they play physical. It's just a bad matchup for a team like us. We can beat everybody, but we can also get exposed by a team full of dogs, when we got guys out there tippy-toeing around. But I was saying that I don't want to play the Knicks. I was saying that for a while, and I don't remember if I said I would have rather played Boston, but I might have said that. I know Romp said it, and I know I kind of felt like that because I don't trust the Boston Celtics. I don't, Joe Mazzulla. I don't believe in the Boston Celtics at all. I don't believe they have that dog in them. I believe the Celtics have this mentality of they kind of act like they already won something. They kind of act like the referees are supposed to roll out a red carpet. Jason Tatum's constantly like, do you know who I am type of body language. You know what I mean? I just can't. I would have rather played the Boston Celtics. Straight up, I would have rather played the Boston Celtics. And you saw it last night. Let's get off the Sixers for a second. Let's roast the Boston Celtics, okay? Let's do that. Because that's going to make me feel a little bit better. A team that on paper, every season, is the favorite to win everything. Last night, took a L in Boston to the Miami Heat without Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier. if they're that much of a favorite and they're that dominant, that shouldn't be a thing. That should be a sweep all day, every day. And after the game, yeah, of course they were outcoached, bro, by a mile, and that's what I was just about to get to. After the game, Joe Mazzulla made some comments again, and I just get Doc Rivers loser energy vibes from Joe Mazzulla. He's always trying to defend and make excuses right off the bat, you know? Instead of being like, this was unacceptable, our energy was unacceptable. Well, he got up there and he said, like, I didn't think we were that bad. That's what he said. And he said some things like some shots just fell for them that, like he just, get that energy away from me, man. Like when the dude said something about Tatum folding in the fourth quarter and he's like, that's what you guys, Maxey did the same thing and you guys said he took over. Like, no accountability at all. That team's not winning anything. I'm sorry. A team led by a guy like that, who's spreading that type of this is good enough energy throughout the team, is not winning an NBA championship. That's how I feel about the Boston Celtics. How do I feel about the Philadelphia 76ers? They got to get a more dog-minded. They got to get more dog mentality on the floor. They got to get more dog mentality on the floor, man. So Nick, it's on you. People hate when I say that too. Like, two things can't be true at the same time, right? It's not Nick's fault. It's this guy's fault. Why are you blaming Tobias when you're not talking about Embiid? Why are you blaming Embiid and you're not talking about Maxey at the end of the game? Why are you talking about, bro, it can be all of those things. Why does it have to be one specific thing? It can be a combination of all of those things. My thing is, if you want to say the role players need to step up, that's true. The role players have not showed up at all. Then guess what you got to do, Nick? You got to play different role players, man. You can't just keep running the same lineup and hoping Buddy Hell No turns back into Buddy Hield. You can't keep playing the same lineup hoping that Houdini Harris, I forgot his nickname for a second. Houdini Harris, Crumble Cookie, a.k.a. the contract. You can't keep playing him hoping that he turns it around and turns into something else. It's do or die right now. It's do or die. It's time to accept the fact that these guys aren't getting it done. Let's try somebody else. Or you can live and die with the roster the way it is. And, there's the fact that Tobias is being paid what he's being paid. There's the fact that Daryl Morey made the trade for Buddy Hield. And maybe Nick Nurse, this is what Raptors fans were telling me. And we were going back to him saying, like, yeah, but who did he really have? Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam, like, was rotating the bench lineup really going to get them anywhere? Not really, So maybe Nick Nurse just lives and dies by, hey, I'm going to play my style of ball. I'm going to coach my style of coaching. And if the roster's not good enough, the roster's not good enough. That could be it too. He did win a championship in 2019, but look at that roster, bro. Prime Kyle Lowry, prime Kawhi Leonard, prime Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka, young Pascal Siakam as a perfect number 2. Bro, that roster was... I have no idea how the Sixers took that to 7 games. That roster was stacked. So, it maybe Nurse is a great coach and wins championship ready. And is this Sixers roster championship ready? I don't know. The first 2 games against Knicks, it feels like we are once again top heavy. You can have the best 2-man game in the league if you want, whatever. You can have the best young stud outside of Anthony Edwards, of course. A couple other young players right around that age that are on that level. You can have MVP and even coming out of knee surgery is 70%, is still the best scoring center of the last 20 years. You can have all that. They can combine for 70 points. Okay, you got to score 120 to win in the NBA today. Congrats, combining for 70. Where are the other points coming from? You know? So there's that. 620 people in here, man. Close out the chat and hit the like button for me one time. So let's get that over 1,000. And look, I need some of your takes, man. I need some of your takes. If there's anybody hanging out in the Discord that wants to jump in the call in on the Discord, go ahead and do that. We'll take your call right here live. Or we'll just read the chat, man. Up to you. You know what I mean? Do what you want. Do what you want. Nurse forced the game 6 in every series he trailed. Ooh, you know what? There's an article that I just wanted to read. I think I'm going to bring that up now. Let's do that. Where was it? Here we go. It was written by our good friend, the GOAT of Sixers reporters, Keith Pompey. And here's, that's a good point that Nurse has forced a game 6 in every series that he trailed. And here's what Keith says. Founded in 1946 as the, what the fuck, bro? Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. Every article is like an essay. You need to hit a certain amount of words. The Sixers 0-2 deficit, bro. In the first sentence says they were founded in 1946. Okay, let's try to get to the point here. No Sixer has ever come back to win a playoff series after trailing 2-0. Ooh. The franchise is 0 for 20 when trying to pull off an 0-2 series comeback. Not a good sign for the current Sixers, who are trailing 0-2 to the New York Knicks. But they're not alone when it comes to franchises that have struggled to overcome 0-2 deficits. Let's check out the Nick Nurse part. While that only equates to 7.3% winning rate, 6 teams have overcome 0-2 deficits in the last 5 seasons. One of those squads was, in fact, the 2019 Toronto Raptors. That's pretty crazy because, as I just said, that roster was stacked. I don't know how they went down 0-2. After losing the first 2 games, the Raptors rolled off 4 straight victories, beating the Milwaukee Bucks in 6 games in the conference finals en route to an NBA title. So this is important right here. Thank you for this, Keith. This is important right here, man. 2019 Toronto Raptors were down 0-2 to the Milwaukee Bucks. After losing the first 2 games, they won 4 straight. After losing the first 2 games, they won 4 straight. That has only been done a couple times, man. I actually had that up here. Hold up a second. I had that up here. Teams to come back from 0-2 NBA playoffs. The odds were on this one website that I was reading that I used in the video the other day, right here. Land of Basketball. How many teams have recovered from 0-2? Let's see. Only 7. Okay, here. I think it said it in here. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, a larger percentage of teams forced an 0-2 to 6 games and still lost the series. A much smaller percentage won 4 straight after losing the first 2 games. But Nick Nurse is one of the coaches that pulled that off. How did he pull that off? He had that speech where he was talking about that. You know, he had that once when we first hired him. I think on one of my live streams, I played that speech in the middle of the summer. We were talking about this Nick Nurse speech where he's talking about how he brought Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry into his office and was like, looking them dead in the face and saying like, we're either going down in this sinking ship or we're bringing it back. And he was like, and your ass is on the line, my ass is on the line, everyone's ass is on the line. He was really calling out the stars of the team, Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard at the time. I can imagine the thing is that Nick Nurse has such a great reputation as a guy that holds players accountable, as a guy that gets teams out of things like this. As you see there, he was down 0-2 with the Toronto Raptors and won 4 straight games, and then went on to win the NBA championship that year. So he has such a good reputation for uplifting and motivating and getting guys going and getting teams out of deficits. He doesn't want this to be the first time. Nick Nurse, more than probably anybody, doesn't want this to be the first time that he goes down 0-3 in a playoff series. That was my thing with game 2, why I thought he was going to switch it up a little bit, because I thought, his reputation's on the line and he's probably going to be like, listen, I don't care who's the highest paid player on the team or who this or who that. I'm doing it my way because I don't want to be down 0-2. He still didn't really switch it up. This game, I would expect Nick Nurse to be on a little bit more in a selfish type of mode, a little bit more in a protecting his own reputation type of mode, and telling guys, hey, listen, you stunk it up for 2 games. I'm not even taking a chance on you in game 3. I would love that. You know who I'm talking about. Yo, 191 JT, thanks for subscribing. Wavy Navy, thanks for subscribing to the channel. What else we got, man? Members in the chat. Robert, thanks for being a member of the channel, bro. I think that Nick can do it. These 3 days off is a blessing to adjust to how the Knicks are going about this series. Great point. And do you think we change our strategy at all? That's a good topic, really. Do you think we change our defensive strategy at all? Because obviously we've been hyper focused on Jalen Brunson and his shooting percentages being as low as they are, and his, he was like 9 for 30 in game 2, got lucky on a bounce again. It's just ridiculous. But do you think we change up our strategy at all? And because of our hyper focus on Jalen Brunson, we've been leaving guys like Josh Hart wide open. We've been leaving guys like DiVincenzo wide open. We've been leaving OG Anunoby wide open. Do you think we back off of Jalen Brunson a little bit? Do you think we take a different approach? Do you think we say, you know what? Let's let Jalen Brunson drop 50. Let's try to slow down the rest of the team. Because Brunson has dropped 60. He scored a 61 in a game that they lost in the regular season. So maybe the best strategy is let him go off. Let Brunson go one-on-one all game. Let's stick to everybody else. Let's man up. What do you guys think? Or do you think they continue to do the same thing? Reese T, Nurse is a idiot. Well, correct grammar there would be an idiot. A-N space idiot. I just think it's a funny little conundrum that you called someone an idiot while using improper grammar. Hey, what's good, bro? You heard it here first. Tobias Harris. Get out of my house, eh? Get out of my house or I'm calling the cops. If we're expecting Tobias Harris to be the player of the game, we are screwed. If I see Buddy Hield come in the game off the bench, I'm turning the TV and watching the NFL draft. Fair enough, Kane, and I love your Brian Dawkins profile picture. That's my favorite Philadelphia Eagle of all time. Unfortunately for me, I have a sickness, I do have a sickness. I don't care about the NFL draft whatsoever today. I'm not even thinking about it. Actually, every time I open my phone and somebody's talking about it, I'm pissed off that they're talking about it because I can't think of anything else besides Sixers Knicks game 3. But I've always been a sicko like that. You know, if there was an Eagles playoff game and a Sixers preseason game at the same time, I would have 2 TVs going, and Eagles fans would be like, "Why the fuck are you watching the Sixers preseason right now?" I've always been that way. But I wish I could be more like some people and just be like, "Yeah, turn this off. We'll turn this off." Reese T, I agree. I agree. I want counsel out there. I want counsel out there, man. You know, I want counsel out there. I don't know why it hasn't been out there yet. I can't figure that one out, man. I can't figure that one out, man. Play the didn't you, Nick? Didn't you see what he did? Didn't you see what he did in the regular season? You're watching Tobias Harris fold up like a lawn chair every game. And you know you have a guy that's willing to fist fight on the court, bro. Like, I just don't understand it. Why are you still putting lawn chair out there? That's his new nickname. Lawn chair. He's a fucking lawn chair, bro. When he plays in a game where nobody touches him, he's cool. But he's a lawn chair. Too much pressure, fold right up. It's like a Tommy Bahama beach chair, dude. DeAnthony Melton is back. Yes, that's another thing. DeAnthony Melton is back. Embiid's eye scares me. Yeah, I don't think Embiid's eye is a big deal, honestly. I think he has nerve damage in his eye, like that doctor said, in his eyelid or something like that. He can't blink his eye. But he dropped 33 and 12. So, you know, I just think Embiid doesn't want the media talking about it. That's why he keeps showing up with sunglasses and he wouldn't look at the media in the post-game press conference. I think because it could just be a self-conscious thing too, because his eye looks all fucked up and weird, you know? I can't blink his left eye. So does he really want to do a press conference like this? So people can be like, "Oh my God, look, he's worshiping the devil like Katy Perry or something." Like, you know, all these types of things will go on the internet. I don't know. But I don't think the eye's a big deal. He dropped 33 and 12. So, but I think when the game's over, he like can't move his eyelid. He can't blink his left eye or his right eye. And that's why he's not talking to people. But yeah, DeAnthony Melton is back. DeAnthony Melton being back could be huge for us. And going into these playoffs, I was the one saying I don't know if there's a role for DeAnthony Melton after missing so many games, because we have depth. I thought we had depth, So I was like, there's not really a role for DeAnthony Melton because he's been injured for so long, and we have Buddy Hield and Cameron Payne and Kyle Lowry, and where's the role for DeAnthony Melton? And then you watch the playoffs, and you're like, wow. We need Mr. Do something out there, bro. And if he's healthy, please give him 20 minutes, please. He can hit threes. He's a 40% three-point shooter. All right. Not much of a creator off the dribble, not much of a pick and roll guy, but he's a hustle guy. He's a defense guy. He's a rebound guy. He's get steals, turn defense to offense kind of guy. And he can hit an open shot. Well, for the most part, except for last year in Game 6 against the Celtics, he missed every single shot he put up. But whatever, that's just the Sixers. That's what happens. But yeah, I think Melton can bring a good difference in energy in this game. So it's nice to have him back. And at least DeAnthony Melton is a dog mentality type of player who we know Nick Nurse likes to play. We could talk about Ricky Council all we want. Clearly, he doesn't like to play him. So at least DeAnthony Melton has that attitude and can bring that energy to the team, and you know that Nick Nurse likes to play the guy. So that's a good thing for us, bro. Yeah, we got somebody on the Discord, man. We got my man Hunter over here on the Discord. Let me see if I can get you on here. Yo, Hunter. All right, hold on. I gotta adjust my output here. Let's see. Roadcaster. That'll work, but where's the here we go. There we go. I should have you now.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's up? I just wanted to get like your confidence going into this game. Like, how confident are you that we'll pull out the dub?
Woo! I don't know. It sucks, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh I
my main focus
yeah, go ahead.
for this game is just like my main focus is like this game. I'm more so worried about Brunson than like the role players. Like, obviously, like role players don't play as good on away. So like I could see this being a game where Brunson comes out, it's like 8 of their first 10 points. So I think if you like I'm more so worried about him than like Josh Hart hitting 5 threes and a half.
Well, I think that's can work to our advantage, man. I think that's what I was just saying a minute ago is that maybe our strategy should be let Brunson score 50 and shut down everybody else, you know? Because we've been shutting
Yeah,
down
I mean,
Brunson and still losing the game because those guys were hitting those big shots. You're right. I think that they had the home crowd energy behind them and role players rise when they're at home. So maybe this is the time to, maybe it's going to be easier to shut down everybody else. And, again, you got to score 120 to win a game in the NBA. Brunson can score 50 all he wants if we shut down everybody else, right?
yeah, I mean, it's just so stupid that we're having Miles McBride like off the bounce, just like hitting 3 threes and just going right at Embiid and finishing on him.
Yeah.
What role player do you think will step up for us this game, if there are any?
You know what, man? I could see it being a DeAnthony Melton, Cameron Payne type of game.
Yeah, I mean, I love that we have Melon back. You can put Melon on like Dante to take him out. You can put like Batum on Hart, Oubre on Brunson. I
Yeah.
love that we have Melon back.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I'm
could see it
hoping
being
he'll.
I could see it being a Melton Cameron Payne type of game because there's a lot of games in the regular season where those, Melton gave you 15 or 20 off the bench. And after the trade deadline, there's a lot of games where Cameron Payne was just lighting it up. So I think Nurse went with a plan for the first two games. It clearly didn't work. And now it's time to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then I also see people freaking out about like the stat, like when a team is down 0-2, they have a 7% chance of winning. But like
Yeah.
mostly all those is like an eight or a one seed just like beating up on the 8 seed and they, like, sweep them, like, this isn't, like, a normal, like, scenario, like, we were injured, like, this is a normal case, so I think we have better than a 7% chance of winning.
Well, a 7%. So you're saying the 7% chance comes from when an 8 seed gets a couple of fluky first couple of games, and then the 1 seed gets their shit together and smacks them around for 4 games in a row, right?
I mean, like, when, like or when, like, when the I'm talking about, like, when an 8 seed is, like or when the 1 seed is, like, up against the 8 seed, like, 2-0, they're mostly, like, sweeping them, so that's where, like, most of it comes from, like, the 1 seed just destroying on the 8 seed.
But since 7% of the time that 8 seed wins the series, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. It's a 7% chance, and the 93% chance is like
Is the one
just the
seed
one
taking care of
seed
business? Yeah,
demolished.
yeah, 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 yeah. Great point.
Yeah, but like
Great point.
this isn't like a normal case though. This is
No,
a unique type of game.
I think this is more like a I think this is more like Knicks fans aren't going to want to hear this, but I think this is more like the other way around. When Joel Embiid's healthy, the Sixers would have been the higher. If Joel was healthy the whole season, the Sixers would have been the higher seed. So I think this is more like the other way around, where the lower seeded team is out hustling, outworking, and getting some good fortune on some bounces and things like that, and going up 0-2, and then the better team could come back and win the series. I think that's
Yeah.
I
And
think
then
that
final question, like if this were to go to a game 7, like how confident would you be in the game 7?
Game 7 in the Garden, dude, we're getting crazy. Game 7, oh
Yeah.
my god, man, I need I need to get back on a Ativan
I mean, it
prescription
can't
or
get any
something.
worse than game 2.
I need to get back on my Ativan prescription, man. I can't think about a game 7 in Madison Square Garden, man. Oh,
Yeah. All right. Hopefully we
oh
can pull
man.
out these next 2.
Yeah, it depends what they look like in these next 2. If they completely turn it around, you know what I mean? That's gonna change how we feel about it. What they look like in these next in this what they look like tonight is gonna change how we feel about it. And that'll let us
Yeah.
know
Oh wait.
if it's possible.
Also, how are you feeling about the Bucks and like versus the Pacers? They just lost.
Yeah, the Bucks.
And Giannis, apparently Giannis like isn't even running yet. Like Sham said, he can't even run yet, so he shouldn't. I don't think he's even close to returning.
No, they're done. What's that series? What's that series? 1-1?
Yeah, 1-1.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are done, man. I thought they were done from the jump, but Damian Lillard went nuts in the first game, and that's and then he's doing. They're replaying this whole humble yourself video. What he said to Halliburton after the in-season tournament and stuff, and I'm like, bro, he went off for one game. The Pacers are without Giannis. The Pacers are clearly the better team. I think the Pacers are going to win that series, and then Doc
It's
Rivers has a
1-1
built-in
going back
excuse.
to Indiana.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and the Clippers lost last night or 2 nights ago. So people were doing that whole thing too when James Harden had 28 in game 1 and the Clippers won, and they were like, "You look at Harden out there and you talked all that." I'm like, bro, one game. Came back the next night. Him, Kawhi, and Paul George were like 7 for 90, and they lost. So yeah, but yeah, I don't believe in the Bucks at all.
Bucks have Siakam averaging 37 points a game in the playoffs. Absolutely tragic.
That's the thing. Siakam's not like a jump shooter, so that's just a lack of physical interior defense whatsoever. He's just I don't think I've watched one of those games yet, but I would assume Siakam's just taking the ball to the hoop a lot. Yeah. And the Celtics lost last night to the Miami Heat without Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier, and the Celtics were fully healthy. That should, according to the hype, that should be a sweep, right? Without Jimmy Butler. So
yeah, I mean, I had them winning in 5, so the East is crazy.
The East is completely up in the air, man. Yeah. Yo, Hunter,
just
man. Hey,
the series.
Thanks for calling in, bro. I seriously appreciate it, man. Thanks for contributing to the show, man. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Shout out to my man Hunter on the Discord, man. Shout out to Hunter on the Discord. Thanks for calling, man. Good points, good questions, good topics. Yeah. Ranked Scrub. Are the backside cutters committed to the lob enough to draw defensive coverage? Well, no, because the only backside cutter is Kelly Oubre, who does he even really cut that much backdoor? And guys like KJ Martin and Ricky Council, who haven't been on the floor in the playoffs. No, there's no backside cutters because the power forwards are Nicholas Batum and Tobias Harris. And one guy is too old to cut backdoor, and one guy has never cut backdoor in his entire career. Yeah, I mean, I don't like to sound like I know more than NBA coaches or something, but I think a lot of times fans from a fan perspective, we can take a step back a little bit better and look at and it's a little bit more. I think it's a little bit more simplified for us. A coach is always in there trying to X's and O's and percentages and all these things, and I think it's a little bit overcomplicated a lot of times when you could just take a step back and say, hey, when we run the 2-man game with Maxey and Embiid, who should we have at the 4? A guy that's a threat to be Aaron Gordon? Or a guy that's going to stand in the corner and maybe shoot 30%? Or he's going to pass up an open one? Or, I think some guys that are more likely to cut back doors should be in there, but I've thought that the whole season. Rob R. Melton can't be worse than the current bench. At least you can't rely on 88-year-old Kyle Lowry. He'd still be in Miami if he were any good anymore. I think Lowry's been impressive. I don't think anybody expected Kyle Lowry to be your third scorer in the playoffs. That's just more of a sign on the rest of the team how bad everyone else has been. But yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. Kyle Lowry's not going to give you 25. but I don't think anybody's expecting Kyle Lowry to give you 25. I don't think anybody's relying on Kyle Lowry. I think they like the combination of Lowry and Maxey because you get a lot of Maxey off ball, and you get a lot of Maxey coming around screens and getting free and sprinting down the lane and things like that. That's why I think Nurse likes playing Lowry so much. I don't think he's expecting Lowry to take over and dominate. But I think Lowry's done a great job for being a buyout candidate. It just says a lot more about the overall roster and how underwhelming they've been. The fact that Lowry's performance in these first 2 games is like that, magnified or looks that good. What else we got, bro? YouTube is fooled because they showed ads. If you don't click off in 5 seconds, you're forced to watch another. Damn, bro. Gotta be quick on the draw, baby. Random POI, though, you got to look at it like this. If you get trapped into watching the whole ad, I get paid for it. So thank you for that. Or you could pay for YouTube Premium and have no ads, and I also get paid for that. Got to get paid somehow. It is annoying, though. I agree with you. Duchesne and B wanted to come back because he's a dog and a monster player, hence why he came back on the court basically no problem after the injury scare in game 1. Yeah, I think that too, man. We haven't gotten we got a 33-12 game from Embiid, and against the physical New York Knicks, that shuts up a lot of haters because a lot of haters just think that Joel Embiid sucks in the playoffs, and he do it in the playoffs. He can't do it in the playoffs. He come back and drop 33-12. I mean, that's vintage Joel Embiid. But we haven't gotten like a Joel Embiid game yet, What if the injury scare in game 1 was just excruciating pain from landing on the meniscus? And I had I forget his name, but he emails me. He's a proctologist who emails me sometimes because he watches my videos and he tries to explain things that I clearly don't understand. And he told me that Embiid could very well be 100% healthy. It's just very painful to land hard on the knee because it was replaced, and there's a lot of pain sensors in there and stuff like that. So what if we get tonight a Joel Embiid game, What if we get a 50, 10, 7, and 7 game from Joel Embiid tonight, Because let's be serious. Yeah, the Knicks play physical, and they got a lot of hard-nosed guys on their team, but they don't have like a one-up guy that can slow down Joel Embiid. Mitchell Robinson gets in foul trouble easily. Isaiah Hartenstein, he can't guard Joel Embiid. Come on, man. The Hartenstein floater, bro. Ugh. This is what I mean. I'm not trying to say the Knicks didn't play well, but there's just a lot of things happen that feels like you were playing 2K on Hall of Fame difficulty, A lot of these dudes morphed into 99 Opal cards. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is. Whatever the best card is where the guy's a 99 suddenly and you can't stop him. That's what happened in these first 2 games. Embiid is shooting 20 for 51. All right, that's like what? 40%? It's not great. It's not terrible. He's getting locked up. 33-12 is not locked up. I don't know what your definition of locked up is. If all you're looking at is shooting percentages, then yeah. I mean, first of all, why is your name OBJYN? That's weird. You know what? Let's go ahead and have this conversation, man. Of course, a New York Giants profile photo. So first of all, not only do you not watch Sixers games, you're first a football fan. So the odds of you having any idea of what you're talking about when it comes to Philadelphia sports, but specifically Philadelphia basketball team, are probably the same odds as a team coming back from 0-2. I would say about 7%. But Allen Iverson shot 39% for a whole season one year and took the Sixers to the NBA Finals. So, I mean, you can't be like a guy dropped 33 and 12 on us and we locked him up because he shot 39%. Come on. Yeah, the leading scorer on the team takes a lot of shots. And if you slow him down in the second quarter, but he cooks you in the third and the fourth, the overall percentage could not be great, right? There was a game where Ja Morant was 0 for 14 in the first half of a game, right? And he dominated the second half. And he finished with like a 40-point triple-double, but he shot like 37% from the field. That's not being locked up. Sorry to educate you, bro. You should be focused on the NFL draft anyway, man. The Giants fucking suck every year, forever. Sudlush RZ. Yo, DJ, the Sixers are actually geniuses after years of getting bounced in the second round. They had it and came up with a solution to get bounced in the first round. Fuck you, man. They were like, hey, we're not losing in the second round this year. We're losing in the first round. He's shooting 50% and best player on the floor if he didn't windmill dunk on the Knicks. Dude, wouldn't it be crazy if the literal thing that ended the season was Joel Embiid throwing a self alley-oop to himself? That's just such a microcosm of being a Sixers fan, that you could have maybe the best dunk from a center in the history of the game that immediately ruined the entire season. Wouldn't that be wild? Anyway, man, listen, I can't. Hey, man, look, 719 in here, man. Hit the like button for me one time. Thanks for hanging out with me. I had basically absolutely nothing to say this whole show. I'm just nervous. I was trying to, give you guys a little bit of entertainment, I guess, and some content, but I really wanted to hear your opinions on things. And, thanks to Hunter for calling into the show. Thank you guys for dropping comments and questions in the chat and helping me feel a little bit better about this, because I was about to just curl up in a ball in the corner until the game comes on. So thank you. Thank you for coming through. Anybody else got any hot takes, questions, comments? Drop it in the chat. And then I'm going to go try to forget about basketball entirely for the next 5 hours. Oh, I want to let you know this too, to the 700 people in here. We're bringing back the live watch-alongs to YouTube tonight. All right? So I'll still be on playback for those of you that love going into the playback streams, but we're multi-streaming it to YouTube also. So if you want to watch the game with me, it'll be on YouTube tonight, okay? So just go to live and look for live watch-along, whatever it is. So help me get those numbers up too, man. And we will still, of course, be doing the post-game live call-in show also. Which is crazy. Dude, you do 3 streams in one day? What's wrong with you? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not okay, man. At the end of the day, I'm getting... at the end of the day, I'm almost making a living by watching my favorite basketball team. So it's not, a lot of people be like, thank you so much for all your hard work. Thank you so much for all you do. How do you do all this in one day? Do you ever sleep or whatever? I'm watching a basketball team, bro. You know what I'm saying? I feel blessed more than anything. I drive by a couple of dudes at 6 a.m. that are using a jackhammer, digging a hole in the middle of the street. I'm like, damn. I could be doing that. That's hard work. This is me watching a basketball team. You know what I mean? Yeah. I appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for coming through. Woo! Yeah, we'll be on YouTube later. So tune into the live show and drop your hot takes, and I'll be reading the chat throughout the game. And I think we'll like end the first quarter, and at halftime we'll take some Discord calls and things like that. So we'll make it fun. And I'll see you there. And we'll still do the post game live call and show because we're doing it all. Because we're sickos, man. I'm out.